Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94, here back with another reaction video. Today, we finna react to why 1998 was Michael Jackson's peak, the Bad era. I'm gonna be for real with y'all. I think Bad is better than Thriller. I said it. I said what I said. I know a lot of people gonna be like, how dare you? I understand. Thriller do numbers. Thriller did numbers. It can't be touched. But from a listening standpoint, Bad is better than Thriller. I said what I said. I said what I said.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
You said, did I see the new? No, I ain't seen the movie yet. They both classics. They both classics for sure, but Bad is a better listen. Like people, I don't know why people give Bad a bad reputation. Like it's actually better than Thriller if you actually sit through it and listen to it, bro. It's way more hits on there. Like Thriller got like 3 skips. Really got like 3 skips of songs that I just don't fucking like. Whereas the skips on Bad, they not like songs I like. Turn that shit off. They'd be like songs like I wouldn't mind them playing in the background. They not my cup of tea, but I don't mind them being played in the background. Like it's 3 songs on Thriller where it's like if I hear them shits, I'm like, cut that shit off. Cut it off. Cut it off. Anyway, so let's get right into this.
July 16th, 1988. Wembley Stadium, London. 72,000 people screaming as one. Princess Diana and Prince Charles in the royal box. Michael Jackson hits a note during Man in the Mirror that sends chills through every person in that stadium. This wasn't just another concert. This was Michael Jackson at the absolute peak of human performance capability. And 1988 was the year he operated at a level nobody has matched since. Forget what you think you know about the Thriller era. 1988 was when Michael Jackson achieved something even more impressive than commercial dominance. He mastered every aspect of entertainment simultaneously while performing at a physical level that seems impossible watching it back today. Let's establish the foundation. Bad dropped August 31st, 1987. The pressure was insane. How do you follow Thriller?
God damn. I'm pretty sure this is how the fucking movie theaters was looking. Everybody was dressed up like Mike. I'm pretty sure that's how it was. Like I said, I ain't seen the movie, and I'm probably not gonna see it till like a month after the fact. So like maybe by the end of May, I'll probably go see it. But as of right now, everybody talking about I just saw it like 5 times already, man. You wasted. You know how much the movie theater costs these days? You spent all that money to go see a movie multiple times. Show the fuck did. All right.
Best-selling album of all time. Critics were waiting for Michael to fail. Rolling Stone ran articles questioning whether he could possibly maintain his momentum. Music executives at Epic Records were nervous despite Michael's track record. The budget had ballooned to $750,000, enormous for 1987. Quincy Jones and Michael had spent months perfecting every detail. But nobody knew if audiences would respond the way they had to Thriller. The album's first week answered every question. Bad sold 2.25 million copies in 7 days, making it the fastest-selling album in American history at that point. It debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 and stayed there for 6 consecutive weeks. Worldwide, it topped charts in 24 countries. Within months, Michael had become the top-selling artist globally. Bad wasn't just successful, it was a phenomenon that matched and in some ways exceeded Thriller's commercial velocity. But here's what separated Bad from every other blockbuster album: the single strategy. Michael and Epic planned to release multiple tracks, but nobody expected what happened next. I Just Can't Stop Loving You hit #1. Then Bad hit #1. The Way You Make Me Feel hit #1. Man in the Mirror reached #1.
Damn.
Dirty Diana made it 5 consecutive #1 singles from a single album. 5. Nobody had ever done that. The Beatles hadn't done it. Elvis hadn't done it. Stevie Wonder hadn't done it. Michael shattered a record that seemed unbreakable and did it.
Put some respect on that man's name. When you talk about this man, put some respect on that man's name, bro. Put some respect on that man's name, bro. Who you know doing it like that, man? 5 number ones off 1 album. Put some respect on that man's name, bro.
While the music industry was more competitive than ever. By early 1988, Bad had sold 18 million copies worldwide.
Shit.
Michael was everywhere. MTV played his videos constantly. Radio couldn't escape him. The album was certified 6 times platinum in the United States alone, equaling Off the Wall's total sales in less than a year, and the Bad World Tour was just getting started. September.
Let's see, in the hood, though, in the streets, a couple of old heads told me that Bad was cool. Bad was cool and was doing this thing. But they said when Bobby dropped that Don't Be Cruel album, they said he kind of low key like the streets on fire. We kind of had to push Mike away for a little bit. That's what the OGs back in the day told me that. That's what they said, but I think that came out in 89, if I'm not mistaken. Bobby dropped Don't Be Cruel in 89, so I mean, if Mike was dominating for that long, for Bobby to come through and be like, nah, I got it from here, big bro. That's crazy.
October 12th, 1987, Tokyo, Japan. The Bad World Tour kicked off with Michael's first performances in Japan since 1973 when he toured with the Jackson 5. Demand was unprecedented. The first 9 concerts sold out within hours. 5 more shows were added immediately. Over 600 journalists and cameramen waited at Tokyo's Narita International Airport for his arrival. Attendance for those first 14 Japanese dates totaled 450,000 people. Previous touring acts considered 200,000 across an entire tour successful. Michael drew more than double that in 2 weeks in one country. The tour moved through Australia in November 1987, but 1988 was when it reached its peak. Rehearsals for the expanded second leg took place at Pensacola Civic Center in Florida from January 22nd through February 18, 1988. Vincent Patterson, who'd worked with Michael on several videos, joined as choreographer and co-director. The production was completely revamped, a larger stage setup, new musical arrangements, the addition of Smooth Criminal and Man in the Mirror to the set list. Michael rehearsed obsessively, running through numbers dozens of times until every movement was flawless. March 2nd, 1988. The 30th Annual Grammy Awards at Radio City Music Hall in New York. Michael walked into that ceremony carrying the weight of massive expectations.
That's the album that had all the bangers from Bobby.
Nominations, including Album of the Year. He was competing against U2's The Joshua Tree, which critics loved. Many predicted he'd win at least 3 or 4 awards that night. He won 1. Best.
He only won 1. Yeah. This is when Mike knew. This is when Mike had to learn the lesson. No matter how great you are, they always gonna find a way to push you to the side. They gonna always find a way. No matter how great you are, they gonna always find a way. Always. They did my brother dirty, man. Only 1? You talk about the most dominant. This man went the most dominant radio run, the most dominant album run, tour run. You couldn't escape this man music. But they was like, nah, you ain't worthy of all them Grammys. They gave that man 1 Grammy. And this is the type of shit that makes people go insane. Because you put out your best product and it's not good enough. So then when you hear, so basically what the Grammys said was, we found YouTube stuff to be a little bit more realer. It didn't feel like it was fabricated. It felt real. It felt different. It felt like something new. That's what they said. So what did Mike do? Mike said, all right, enough with the poppy shit. Let me go do the new Jack Swing thing. Let me hit y'all with this R&B shit. Let me spit to y'all. I can talk about real shit too. I can talk about society too. He does that. The next time when he dropped Dangerous, when he dropped the Dangerous album, they didn't even give him an award. They gave him a Lifetime Achievement Award. It said, "You're a legacy act now, buddy. Embrace it. We're not giving you anything else. No more awards. We'll give you a Lifetime Achievement Award. But aside from that, we're not giving this album anything. Bye-bye." That's the shit that made them go insane. That's the shit that'll make you go insane. You put your best work out there. You try something new. You give it your best effort. It's not good enough. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. This is the shit that used to drive artists insane. This is shit. This is the type of shit that would make Kanye turn into the person he is today. Like, imagine going so hard, putting out your best product, and it's not good enough. Not good enough for album of the year. It took Beyonce to make a country album to get album of the year. I really want y'all to think about that. Out of all the great things Beyonce, all the great albums Beyonce put out, it took a country album for her to get album of the year at the Grammys. Make it make sense, bro.
Engineered recording went to the album's producers. Michael himself won 0 Grammys. The media immediately labeled it a humiliating failure, especially compared to the 8 Grammys he'd won for Thriller in 1984. Sitting next to Quincy Jones during the ceremony, Michael looked devastated. Cameras captured his face as other artists collected awards. The contrast between 1984's Grammy sweep and 1988's shutout became the story. Publications ran pieces analyzing his fall from grace. Industry insiders whispered that maybe Bad wasn't as good as Thriller.
And see, this is what they do. First, you don't get no Grammys. Now it's, this album wasn't even that good. I don't even know why y'all doing. See how they do it to our black brothers, man. See how our black brothers have to go through it all, man. See what this man had to go through. See how they do us, man. See how they do a black man, my brothers. See how they do a black man, my brothers. Black man gotta climb. Black woman gotta go to the moon.
Thanos.
Just to be at the top. Oh yeah, they'll let you go. But when they say he's got too much power, they gotta get you up out of here. They gotta find something. Anything. Listen here, my brothers, my sisters. We gotta stop entertaining them. We gotta make our own, my brothers and sisters. Cause every time we try to please them, they tell us we not good enough. Now is it me or is it a conspiracy, my brothers and sisters?
Save the world, where in the world is all the time? So many things I still don't know. So many times to change my.
Oh man. No, but for real though, this is how they kill you. They build you up just to kill you. Even if you squeaky clean and all you do is focus on the music, they will always find a way to say you fell off. Even when Bro, this man was undeniable for a whole year. He don't win no Grammys, now all of a sudden he fell off. That's crazy. Yeah, he had too much power. Mike had too much power.
Maybe Michael's peak had passed. Then he performed, and everything changed. The lights dimmed. A spotlight hit Michael's feet first, showing those iconic white socks and black loafers. The camera pulled back slowly, building anticipation. Behind a screen, his silhouette appeared, moving with that unmistakable Michael Jackson fluidity. Smoke rolled across the stage. He began singing The Way You Make Me Feel, slowed down, almost cabaret style, his voice doing things that shouldn't be possible. The arrangement was completely different from the album version. He was taking risks, showing range, demonstrating control. Then he kicked it into high gear. The tempo exploded. He was dancing across that stage with energy that defied physics. Spins, slides, that aggressive shoulder lean he'd perfected. The audience was on its feet within 90 seconds. But The Way You Make Me Feel was just the warm-up. When Man in the Mirror started, something transcendent happened. A full gospel choir joined him on stage. Michael's voice, already powerful on the record, became something else entirely. He was singing with every molecule of his being, emotion pouring out so raw and real that even cynical industry veterans in that audience felt it. Watch the performance. Watch his face during the final chorus. That's not acting. That's a man channeling something beyond performance into pure emotional expression. He dropped to his knees. He was writhing on the floor. Background singers came to check on him emotionally mid-song, helping him back up. The breakdown section featured just foot stomps, hand claps, and voices. It wasn't a Grammy performance. It was church. The standing ovation lasted minutes. People who'd dismissed him hours earlier were wiping their eyes. Critics who'd written him off were frantically rewriting their assessments. Rembert Brown would later write for Grantland. Few people have ever left it on the field like Michael Jackson at the 1988 Grammys. That performance didn't change the Grammy results, but it proved something more important than awards. Michael Jackson in 1988 was operating at a performance level nobody could touch. The physical ability, the vocal control, the emotional authenticity, the showmanship, all of it peaked simultaneously that night.
This is the equivalent of talking shit to Michael Jordan in his prime. Because he'll take it personally. And then he'll drop 40 on your fucking head. So basically what Mike did, he was like, oh, y'all ain't gonna give me no Grammys? Bet. I'm gonna drop 100 on y'all niggas. I'm doing Kobe numbers tonight. Fuck y'all.
And he was about to take that energy on the road for the most successful touring year of his life. April 1988. The Bad World Tour hit the United States. The first shows in Atlanta featured Michael giving 100 tickets to the Children's Wish Foundation for terminally ill children at Madison Square Garden in New York. The first of 3 concerts served as a benefit, raising $500,000 for the United Negro College Fund. Michael presented a check for $600,000 to the fund, exceeding the original goal. This pattern continued throughout the tour. Charity, record-breaking attendance, and performances that redefined what live music could be. May 23, 1988. The European leg began in Rome at Flaminio Stadium. Police and security rescued hundreds of fans from being crushed in the crowd of 35,000. In Vienna on June 2nd, police reported 130 women fainted during the concert. These weren't isolated incidents. At nearly every tour stop, security had to rescue audience members overcome by the experience. Medical teams were on standby.
Passing out.
The physical reaction Michael's performances triggered in audiences was unprecedented and hasn't been replicated since. Then came Wembley. July 1988. 7 sold-out shows at London's Wembley Stadium. Demand for the initial 5 dates exceeded 1.5 million ticket requests, enough to fill the 72,000 capacity venue 20 times. 5 more shows were added, then 2 additional concerts, 7 total performances to 504,000 people. Michael shattered the previous attendance record held by Madonna, Bruce Springsteen, and Genesis. More shows could have been added, but Wembley had reached its quota for live performances. The third concert on July 16th was attended by Princess Diana and Prince Charles.
Well, I know if I was a owner of an arena and Mike said he was gonna perform there, well, I know I'm making hella bank. We making hella bank, boy. Hell yeah.
Michael had originally planned to remove Dirty Diana from that night's set
I know them
list,
people. Was
about
happy
offending
as
the
hell.
princess or the royal family.
When Mike said,
Diana personally
coming through.
requested he keep it.
I'm gonna
telling
do my
him it was
show
her
at your
favorite
arena.
song. The performance that night was captured on video and eventually
Just say
released
less.
as Live at Wembley, July 16th, 1988. Watching it today, you see Michael at peak physical condition. His voice is flawless throughout. During delicate moments like She's Out of My Life, he displays complete control even while executing complex choreography. The dancing during Smooth Criminal and Billie Jean is mesmerizing. Every move precise, every spin exact, every pop and lock timed to the microsecond. July 16th, 1988. Wembley Stadium. Princess Diana in the royal box. 72,000 people united in worship of pure talent. Michael Jackson hit notes that night that still give people chills watching the video decades later. He moved in ways that seem impossible. He connected with that massive audience like he was performing in someone's living room. That was Michael Jackson at his absolute peak. And 1988 was the year he maintained that peak longer, and at a higher level than anyone in entertainment history. Critics who reviewed the Wembley shows ran out of superlatives. Chaz Lipp of the Morton Report later wrote, "This is simply prime Michael Jackson. He's in fantastic voice throughout, always in control of his instrument. His dancing is as mesmerizing as ever. This concert is relatively stripped down visually, making it a perfect contrast to more elaborately produced shows. The whole thing functions as a highlight." On September 8, 1988, Guinness World Records officially recognized the tour achievements. 3 separate records. Largest grossing tour in history at $125 million.
Damn.
Most people attending a tour at 4.4 million
Yeah, I
fans
sped it
across
up a little
123 shows. And the Wembley attendance record. In April 1989, the tour received a nomination for Tour of the Year 1988 at the inaugural International Rock Awards. But 1988 wasn't just about the tour. In February, Michael published his autobiography Moonwalk. The book debuted at #1 on the New York Times bestseller list, on the Los Angeles Times bestseller list, and on the Times of London bestseller list simultaneously. Within months, it had sold 450,000 copies across 14 countries. By the time its run concluded, over 1 million copies had been purchased worldwide. Michael dedicated the book to Fred Astaire and used it to address his relationship with his father, his thoughts on fame, and his perspective on the press. The book's success proved his appeal extended beyond music into literature, expanding his cultural footprint even further. October 29, 1988. Moonwalker premiered theatrically in Europe, Australia, and South America. The film was an experimental anthology combining concert footage, music videos, biographical segments, and the Smooth Criminal short film. Warner Bros. Had planned a Christmas theatrical release in the United States but canceled it due to distribution disputes. Instead, Moonwalker went straight to VHS in America on January 10, 1989. It didn't matter. The home video became a phenomenon, selling 800,000 copies in the United States by April and going 9 times platinum in the United Kingdom. It remained #1 on Billboard's video chart for 22 consecutive weeks. The Smooth Criminal segment featured the anti-gravity lean that became one of Michael's most iconic moves. Watching it in 1988, audiences couldn't figure out how he and his dancers defied physics, leaning 45 degrees forward with heels locked to the floor. Kids rewound that section dozens of times trying to spot the trick. The Leave Me Alone video, which appeared in the film, won a Grammy in 1990 for Best Music Video Short Form, the only Grammy Michael received for the entire Bad Era, despite the album's massive success. July 30th,
That's crazy.
1988. NBC aired Michael Jackson Around the World, a 90-minute special documenting the Bad World Tour. The network gave Michael primetime exposure during the summer, unusual for music programming. The special drew massive ratings, introducing his touring production to millions who couldn't attend concerts. It showed the elaborate staging, the precision choreography, the scale of the operation. Audiences saw Michael backstage, in rehearsals, interacting with crew. The documentary humanized him while reinforcing his otherworldly talent. Throughout 1988, Bad continued selling. The album was the best-selling record worldwide for both 1987 and 1988, an achievement only Thriller had previously accomplished. Another Part of Me was released in July 1988, reaching #11 on the Billboard Hot 100. Smooth Criminal dropped in November, hitting #7. Even album tracks became radio staples. 7 of the album's 11 songs charted in the top 20. The commercial dominance was total and sustained. But commercial success alone doesn't explain why 1988 was Michael's peak. Plenty of artists sell millions of records. What made 1988 special was the convergence of every element. Physical ability, vocal power, creative output, commercial success, critical recognition, Grammy snub notwithstanding, and cultural impact all reaching their zenith simultaneously. Watch the Wembley performances. Michael is 29 years old. His body moves with a precision and power that seems superhuman. He executes spins that would injure lesser dancers. He hits notes while performing choreography that should make singing impossible. He maintains that level of performance for 2-hour shows night after night across continents.
In 2 hours?
The stamina alone is remarkable. Add the vocal control, the charisma, the connection with audiences, and you're witnessing something.
That man was on stage for 2 hours. Oh, that nigga different. This nigga did 2 hours. Not the most. Normally, a concert going to go like at least an hour, hour 20. This nigga went 2 hours. This Mike was different.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
And he doing a world tour on top of that. So you going from country to country. Yeah, this nigga different, bro.
That hasn't been duplicated. Compare 1988 Michael to any other period in his career. The Victory Tour in 1984 featured great performances, but Michael was still sharing the stage with his brothers. The Dangerous Tour in 1992-93 had more elaborate production, but less vocal performances, as Michael relied more on playback. The History Tour in 1996-97 used even more backing tracks. By that point, age, injuries, and the stress of allegations had taken their physical toll. The This Is It rehearsals in 2009 showed flashes of brilliance, but also revealed how much his body had deteriorated. 1988 was the sweet spot. Old enough to have mastered every aspect of performance. Young enough that his body could execute at peak capacity. Experienced enough to handle massive pressure. Confident enough to take creative risks. Successful enough to command unlimited resources. Focused enough to maintain discipline despite fame that would have destroyed most people. The Grammy performance in March demonstrated his artistic peak. The Wembley concerts in July showcased his physical peak. The Bad album's sustained success throughout the year proved his commercial peak. Moonwalker and the autobiography expanded his creative reach. The charitable donations during the tour showed his humanitarian peak. Everything was firing on all cylinders. Consider the competition in 1988. Prince was making brilliant music, but never matched Michael's commercial dominance or touring scale. Madonna was huge, but her performance capability didn't approach Michael's technical mastery. Whitney Houston had the voice, but not the complete package of singing, dancing, and showmanship. George Michael, Bruce Springsteen, U2, all massive artists, all incredibly talented, none operating at the multidimensional level Michael achieved in 1988. The numbers tell part of the story. $125 million in tour gross when the average successful tour made $10 to $20 million. 5 consecutive #1 singles when most albums produced 1 or 2 hits. 7 top 20 singles from 11 total tracks. 18 million albums sold worldwide within months of release. 504,000 people at Wembley breaking every attendance record. 800,000 video cassettes sold in America alone. 1 million books sold globally. But statistics miss what made 1988 special. Watch the Grammy performance, and you see an artist pouring his soul into every note. Watch the Wembley concert, and you witness technical perfection combined with raw emotion. Read contemporary reviews, and journalists struggle to describe what they're witnessing because nothing in their experience prepared them for Michael Jackson in 1988. The cultural impact extended beyond entertainment. Michael's message in Man in the Mirror about self-reflection and social change resonated globally. His charitable work throughout the tour, donating hundreds of thousands to children's hospitals, educational funds, and disease research, established a model for celebrity philanthropy. His videos pushed boundaries in storytelling and special effects, raising the bar for everyone in the industry. 1988 was also the last year Michael could operate with relative normalcy despite his fame. The allegations that would begin in 1993 hadn't yet poisoned public perception. His eccentricities, the pets, the Neverland Ranch, the changing appearance, were still seen as quirky rather than disturbing. He could focus purely on artistry without defending his character. That freedom shows in the work. Everything feels joyful, confident, powerful. After 1988, things changed. The pressure to top himself became unbearable. The physical toll of touring at that intensity caught up with him. The Pepsi accident injuries from 1984 worsened. Prescription medication use increased. The media turned more vicious. Personal issues intensified. None of the subsequent eras matched 1988's pure combination of commercial success, critical recognition, physical performance, and creative output. Some might argue Thriller in 1983-84 was his peak because of the Grammy sweep and unprecedented album sales. Fair argument. But Thriller Michael wasn't touring. He wasn't maintaining that level night after night for 16 months. He wasn't writing autobiographies and producing feature films simultaneously. He wasn't performing at Wembley for 500,000 people. Thriller was a bigger cultural moment. But 1988 Michael was a more complete artist, operating at a higher overall level. Others might point to specific performances in later years that showed brilliance. The 1995 MTV Video Music Awards opening, certain Dangerous tour shows, the You Are Not Alone video, isolated moments of greatness, but 1988 sustained that greatness across an entire year. Every performance, every appearance, every creative output maintained an impossible standard.
Okay. Well, it's only one thing to say, man.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
That nigga Mike was different. That nigga Mike was different, bro. Anyway, so that's just go about do it for this one. I'll see you all in the next video. Till then, deuces.